Hey everybody, hey, happy Wednesday. I don't know if you just heard me, but happy Wednesday. And I apologize for the wait. I hope everyone here has already signed the Justice for Shanquella petition because I did actually send out an email today for an update. Well, I wouldn't say an update. I wanted you all to pretty much send an email. I want us all to mass email the White House. We all know that Sue Ann Robinson and Ben Crump sent a letter to the White House and they sent it by mail, or I think because they had the address on there, right? So basically what I have found is, of course, an online contact form. And the online contact form, people have already started to send me like screenshots, because some people like to send me screenshots that they've taken action and they've completed the step. So basically, if you check your email, you should have the instructions for how you can submit your own letter to the White House. Okay, so with the petition, we are currently at 38,725 signatures. And when I get to 40,000, I am going to submit this petition to everybody that's at the top that I have access to or email address for. At 40K, I was waiting to 50K, but I think I'll just go ahead and do it at 40K. And then I'll also do it at 50K. There's no harm in submitting it more than once. It doesn't mean that the person has to listen to you, but just like with Sue Ann Robinson and Ben Crump, when they submitted a letter to the White House, it's still just taking action and applying pressure or letting people know, hey, we're looking for answers, we're waiting for results, and we're wanting a response. So why not we all help with the whole White House issue? Now, someone did respond from the White House when they were questioned, but they didn't give like an outright direct statement from themselves without any force being questioned, should I say. Pretty much when a press conference was being held for something else, a reporter asked a question, and that's when Shanquella was brought up. The White House didn't just outright come out and issue a statement on their own without being forced to give a response. And obviously her response was subpar, to be honest. Okay. Okay, it should actually be showing on this page. Like 1 second. Okay, it's down. Okay, so if you scroll all the way down, you can see updates. And I said right here, it says online form to send your own message to the White House about Justice for Shanquella. And remember, keep using this hashtag Justice for Shanquella. And if you click on that, it will take you here. And it says, hey everyone, happy Wednesday. As you recall, Shanquella's lawyers, Sue Ann Robinson and Ben Crump, sent a letter to the White House. Click here to read the letter. And that link actually sends you to the 18-page document that we all have. And it says, well, the good news is that we can all send a letter for hashtag Justice for Shanquella, and we can do it online. It only takes a few minutes. Click here for the online form. Let's flood their inbox and demand justice for Shanquella. And it says, when you're done, tell all of your contacts and groups to do the same thing. Thanks, everyone, and have a great day. And let's go, let's go, let's go. And it says, oh, and share this petition at 40K signatures. I'm going to submit it to everyone that can affect change. And let's see here. So basically, when you click that form, it's going to take you here. And it says message type at the very top. Let me zoom in a little bit more. It says the White House, okay? And it says select message type, and it says you can't see it right now because it won't actually show you, but I can just click on the option so you'll be able to see. It says contact the president, contact the vice president, help with federal agency, questions about the website, and request a presidential greeting. But obviously, we just select the first one, contact the president, and you can also do another one. It will only take a minute. Do the contact the president one, and also do the contact the vice president one. Okay. You can also do help with the federal agency option, depending on like how you spin it. But for the main two, at least send two like brief statements about justice for Shanquella. Respond to justice for Shanquella, or just send like a brief message about getting justice for Shanquella. Okay. You can also link to the petition as well, but that's the way you can also send a letter to the White House as well yourself. Okay. Or send something to the White House. Okay. So I need everyone to do that so we can flood that. And yeah. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so one thing that let me address a few people before I get started and also share this out. Hold on one second. Hey Kiva, thank you for hitting that like button. Come get this commentary. Make sure y'all check out her channel. She has two. Come get this commentary and come get this commentary too. Check out her channel. That's my girl. Hi everyone. Thank you for your hard work covering this important case. Dani. Hey Holly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. No more drama. We have Tina, Shell. Let's see, Jacqueline. Yeah, some great things were happening. So I wasn't late because of bad things happening. I was actually late for good things happening. And I'm excited about it, right? But yeah. So hey LA from NC. Check out his channel as well. He also talks about Shanquella and other topics. So definitely check out his channel. LA from NC. Okay. And then Sheila A. Hey. Shell. Hey, Shell. Girl, did you fall asleep on me yesterday? Did you fall asleep on me yesterday? Okay. So Tina. Okay. So I apologize. I was late, but it was actually good news this time for me at least, but I apologize for being late. I woke up just in time. Hey, Dani. Hey, Jimmy, woman. Arissa Bay. Hey. Della. PM channel. Okay. So basically, there is something that we need to discuss. And Arissa Bay, I don't know if you were here yesterday, but I did shout you out for the Cash App, and I appreciate your support. Thank you, girl. Yes, Auntie. Yes, I appreciate it. And again, everybody else, you can support as always just by hitting the like button to get this video into the algorithm. Lady J, hey. I'm also going to make some more graphics and pictures as well, like I did before. Okay, Coco Finest, hey. Good evening. We have Tanzis, Aries. I already said Kiva. Hey, Ebony. Okay, I see some of y'all came over here from some of you are over here from my other main channel. Phyllis. Hey, Phyllis. Welcome up. So I see we have some new faces. Oh my God. So were y'all here last night? Ciao. It was a mess. It was like some guy came on here talking about like self-hating things, and then somebody else came up here like waving around his little small wee. Like, it was just a mess. I'm like, who would actually come up on a panel about Shanquella and then wave their little Oscar Mayer Vienna sausage wiener? Like, very gross, very disgusting. And if you actually think, so one that you have to get on here to show it, because nobody else in real life would ever want to see that. Very gross, very disgusting. Shell, says Zanny, we are on different time zones. I was trying to hang though. Okay, well, girl, I was like, okay. I was like, Shell, did you fall asleep with me? Okay, so let's get into it. Hey. It's okay. I mean, like there has been times where I've been like on the computer working on something, and then the next thing I know, I'm waking up like, oh, what did I just see? But yeah, that's for my other channel. That's on I talk about that on my other channel tonight. Ooh, I might have to stay awake longer. Woo. Okay. Hey, extra special. So basically what we need to discuss is, let's see. We're going to go back in time. Ooh, I just be showing y'all all my little social medias around here, child. We're going to go back in time to a statement made by Daniel De La Rosa Naya, and also an article that was mentioned in one news article that discussed Shanquella falling in the bathroom. Remember that? Press 1 if you remember the news article discussing Shanquella falling in the bathroom and them stating that she fell in the bathroom and alcohol poisoning. If you remember that, press 1, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. Yes, and remember, we never really had like confirmation of that, and we were wondering if it actually were true. So pretty much, we all know that according to the autopsy, and of course by the video that was released of Shanquella being brutally attacked by Dejanay Jackson, we all know her cause of death was alloxation and his violence that killed her. It wasn't an accidental fall. However, we are going to discuss an accidental fall today because okay, let me go through your comments really quickly. Wait 1 second, y'all. Wait 1 second, okay. Okay, so basically, a lot of y'all do remember that, and the reason we're going to bring that back, show up, see, let's scroll up. Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing a lot of ones. Everybody remembers that. The reason we are going to bring that back into discussion is because Nazir has pretty much stated the same thing that he was told, and guess who else was told this information? The doctor, and also guess who else had this information? Daniel De La Rosa Naya. Okay, so now we have to add that back in here to a topic that Nazir was told, the doctor was told, and also Daniel De La Rosa Naya. Okay, so now that's very important to add back in. And I'm sure all of you are thinking ahead and know why that's important to add back in to the topic of discussion. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so yes, the doctor, upon seeing the knot on Shanquella's forehead, was told about the fall. People were told about the fall. That has not. And let's go back into it, okay? I'm going to drop the link, and I'm not going to be able to be on here that long because I have some great things that are happening, and I have to be able to get rest. Yeah, so I won't be able to be here that long, but I definitely will drop the link. But I do still want to have like an open panel like we did last night. I was thoroughly enjoying it, and then we were interrupted by some weirdo. But we definitely are going to do another full open panel like we did night before. But tonight, I definitely wanted to drop this because I wanted everyone to get back into adding this back into the discussion. Hey, not the one today, girl. I appreciate you, girl. I'm glad you made this live. Yes, auntie. Yes, I love I have a lot of y'all just don't know. I have a lot of day ones that have been like ride or die for me on here. They just like, oh, y'all make me feel so special. I'm literally like blushing in real life half the time. Woo, child. So y'all show me a lot of love, and I greatly do appreciate it. Okay, so so Cheryl says, Danny, we gotta bring a much, but yeah, we definitely gotta bring much more back. Yeah, I enjoyed it as well, but then oh my gosh, it was crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna drop a link and we can discuss what I'm dropping tonight. Okay. Let's see here. So basically, this is in Espanol, and pretty much a lot of people had already translated this whole thing, and this was released on Twitter from Baja California Sur on their Twitter to PGJE, and they pretty much were saying that at that time they were actually going to issue like an arrest warrant for Desjanae Jackson for a femicide, okay? And remember that Daniel De La Rosa Naya kept saying, well, he didn't keep saying, but he said, this was not an accident. We determined it was like violent. He said that. And I was wondering at that time, I was like, why would he add that in there? Say this was not an accident. This was violence. Okay. So that's how I know that he also was told that it was something accidental as well. And that's why Nazir assumed as well that the injuries she had could have been because of a fall or something like that. And then when the doctor was questioned about the knot on Shanquella's head, she was also told that she had drunk too much alcohol and fell. And it actually makes sense because for you to say that she drank too much alcohol and fell, that will actually be a better cover up for you, right? Wouldn't that be a better way to cover up what you've done? Because people will probably question why she has injuries. So then you will say, well, she fell. And then that also can bring into question this brings into this is that now, since the FBI will have that same information, right, they will then say that they have to make sure 100% that it was not, we all know it's violence and according to autopsy and everything else, but adding that in there, that was a way to try to hide this and cover it all up. Okay. So this is in Espanol, but let me go over what it said in English. If anybody wants a link to it, you can press 1. I'll press the link. Well, it's in Espanol, but I'm still gonna post a link in it, right? Hold on, in the chat. But this is pretty much what we went over before. You know what? I think I actually made a video around that time with this already translated, and that will actually be quite useful if I can go back in time and go to that video so I don't have to redo this whole thing. Hold on just a second. Now, he made 2 statements around that time period, right? Let me go to my channel. But yeah, I definitely want to go ahead and read this statement again so we can pick up on these key words. And then we're also going to go to the news article that mentioned the fall as well. And remember, I'm not saying that she fell. I already know a brutal attack occurred. I'm talking about another lie, another part of the lie. It wasn't just that she drank too much alcohol. They're saying that she also fell. So they're trying to cover up why she will have injuries. Okay. Okay. Right now, y'all don't see me, but I'm scrolling through my back studio and I'm going back to the November 24th time period. That way we can I can translate this faster. If somebody speaks Spanish and they can translate this in real time, that would be great as well. But as of now, I need to go to the old video of already translated. Did I put it in this one? I think it's this video. Other charges for the others in the future. So our questions were answered. Okay, let me put this. Let me show y'all the translated version. Okay, so for now, like I said, we can stop. I also have a new number for a video on when to. State General Attorney of Justice Social Communication Department press release, and it was today. It wasn't too long ago. Let me see what time it was. It was only like 1 hour ago. So 1 hour ago, this was released, this press release. Okay, so let me go back to it. Press release, November 24th, 2022. Cleared foreign femicide happened in San Jose del Cabo. The case of the femicide of a woman of foreign origin registered on October at a beach club in San Jose del Cabo, it is clarified to assert Assistant Attorney for Criminal Procedures South Zone Antonio Lopez Rodriguez, who revealed that an arrest warrant was obtained against other likely person responsible for these events, with the investigations carried out by the agent of the public ministry, expert, and criminal investigation agents. Test data was obtained that make up the investigation folder and indicate that it was an attack, direct, not from an accident. I emphasize. Okay, pay attention to that line right there because that's the main part. It says, with the investigations carried out by the agent of the public ministry, experts, and criminal investigation agents, test data was obtained that make up the investigation folder and indicate that it was an attack, direct, not from an accident. I emphasize. So it's emphasizing that it was not an accident, but a direct attack. So them adding that one sentence in there, that one line, not from an accident, okay? They were told this as well, that it was an accident. And this is not the only statement about that, okay? So let's go to, where is it? Let's go to the news article that mentioned this as well. Okay, that was put out November 24th. And then we have this news article right here. It says, this has already been translated. It says, I'm going to post this in the link, in the chat, okay? This news article. I just make sure that everybody is on the same page. Okay, so I'm going to post this link. I already posted the link to that. That was November 24th, that press release. This was the day before this news article. Okay, it says, the prosecutor, Daniel De La Rosa, reported that Interpol will intervene to locate, arrest, and extradite the alleged perpetrator. The state attorney general, Daniel De La Rosa Anaya, confirmed that an arrest warrant was issued against the alleged feminicide of Shanquella Robinson, and that the preparation of the red file will be requested for Interpol to begin its location, arrest, and extradition. The state official shared that the case has already been clarified, and a friend of the victim was identified as the direct aggressor in the events that occurred on October 29th in the municipality of Los Cabos. He specified that the confidentiality and discretion with which the investigation was handled was very important. Since at first a group of friends, all from North Carolina, United States, made it look like an accidental death due to a fall into the bathroom because she was drunk. And oh my gosh, right? So this is the article, remember? He specified that the confidentiality and discretion with which the investigation was handled was very important, since at first the group of friends, all from North Carolina, United States, made it look like an accidental death due to a fall into the bathroom because she was drunk. They reported the medical emergency and left the country. However, the autopsy revealed the cause of death to be a spinal cord fracture at the back of the neck. And remember, at this time, we only had the death certificate floating around social media, but Daniel De La Rosa Anaya had the full autopsy at this point. So he saw this full autopsy, and it was violence, and it was not accidental. Okay? However, the autopsy revealed the cause of death to be a spinal cord fracture at the back of the neck. He did not rule out legal proceedings against the rest of the companions, both the person who recorded the attack and did nothing to help, or the rest of the men and women who had some participation. He pointed out that the procedures for requesting the Interpol file are being carried out so that the search, arrest, and extradition of the alleged perpetrator can begin, and that he be accountable before the Mexican justice system. The head of the PGJE assured that through the American consulate and embassy, contact has been made with the victim's relatives, especially with his parents, regarding the American who was kidnapped and murdered. Okay, this is another case at the bottom. This is talking about another case that was occurring at the same time, so I'm going to stop there. Okay, so pay attention when you're reading this, that it says regarding the American who was kidnapped. They're talking about a different one, okay, a different story. Okay, so let's go back to the main thing I'm going to focus on in this is the point where it says Daniel De La Rosa Anaya specified that the confidentiality and discretion with which the investigation was being handled was very important. Since at first, a group of friends all from North Carolina, United States, made it look like an accidental death. So they set it up to look like that. So Nazir has brought this back and said, okay, well, so you might be like, did I have any suspicions? But remember, it wasn't just that she drank too much alcohol. It was also stated that she was in the bath. She had fell in the bathroom, and that's where the maid found her. So that he's still saying that happened where that, okay, so that's also where she's supposed to be had fell in the bathroom. That's where the maid found her. So it's still in there. And I was like, okay, what about when the doctor asked about the knot on her head? And then what was the response for that? And it was like the fall. So it was still the same thing. And then De La Rosa is also speaking on this. He said that the people from North Carolina, the group of friends, made it look like an accidental death. And then in his press release statement, he also goes back, like the press release statement that came out the following day. It said, right here, remember that I went over in my video, if you actually translate it, he clarifies again, this was not accidental. So he's like, hey, they put this out there, and now clarifying now it's not accidental, it was a direct aggression. So that's why he put that in there. Okay, so that's pretty much, let's see, I'm going to my other messages, wait. So, okay, so how do we put this into perspective, or how would I put this into perspective is, if the doctor and Nazir were not just told it was alcohol poisoning, but they were also told that she had a fall in the bathroom, how would y'all now look at the Dr. Nazir for saying that she also fell in the bathroom? Like, let's look at them both separately. Nazir hearing that she drank too much and she fell in the bathroom, and also the doctor did, of course, hearing that she drank too much and fell in the bathroom. And then most likely the police that came on the scene saying that she drank too much and fell in the bathroom. That actually will make people think like her injuries came from that. And she had a sty in her eye, and then a knot on her head. It was said it came from the fall. It was said when the question was like it came from a fall. So yeah, that's pretty much that we need to actually bring back in, that they didn't just lie about alcohol to everybody there. They also said that she fell too. And we all know that's a lie. I'm not saying that, oh, it's all because she fell. We all know because of the autopsy. And Daniel De La Rosa Anaya also saying this too in his statement. He's also saying, hey, the autopsy shows that it's not accidental, it's violence. And that's why he put out this press release and said, okay, so remember the article was posted, let's see. This was posted the 23rd, his statement, and then this was posted the following day as the press release. And then he goes in to clarify it was not accidental based on the findings. Okay, let me read some comments. Hey Jerry. Hey Dani. Much love. Thank you for all you do. You're welcome, and I appreciate y'all as well. And it's all teamwork, everybody in it together. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so that's another lie added onto this, right? Wow, can you imagine how well they would have gotten away with this had the attack video not been released? That was God. They did that. That was God that did that. Yeah, exactly. Because that's actually like saying that she drank too much and then she fell. That's like a great cover up because a lot of times when people do drink too much and get intoxicated, they tend to fall or not be able to maintain their balance. And plus, don't forget that when people are traveling on vacation, the goal a lot of time is to party and have fun. So alcohol is expected. So it's not going to be like out of the usual norm, out of the norm for the people to drink, right? Consume alcohol. Hey, La Jessica Torres here. They are really trying to sweep this murder under the rug. The facts are all open and shut. The Mexican government is gaslighting to keep from being held accountable after the facts. I would say that the Mexico dropped the ball, but they're now trying to pick up slack and at least get Dejanay extradited. But however, now that they dropped the ball and Dejanay has already pretty much fled the country, they have no, and they also those are covered up and omitted. They have no choice but to try to do extradition to get them back over now. So it's kind of too late. Like once people leave your country, now you have to rely on another country to release them back to you. So they messed up and dropped the ball. But as of now, they are trying to fix it, but it's kind of too late because they should have handled it in the first place. Well, I wouldn't say it's too late. I'm saying it's going to take longer now because now extradition has to happen. They should have handled it while they were over there. They just kept on lying and lying to cover up what they had done. Exactly. They've lied so much. And you know what? I actually was talking about this at first about the fall in the bathroom, but then for some reason it became not most people were not talking about it, right? And I guess the main reason people were not talking about it because it wasn't really said or lied or stated or verified by anybody about the fall. It was just in this one article mentioned. And then I did notice that Dani De La Rosa Naya mentioned it as well, but I didn't. I thought he was just stating, like clarifying this was violence and not accidental. But now I see he kept mentioning not. It's not that. And I emphasize because now he wants to make sure that he's correcting it. It's kind of like when someone has lied on something, you say, "Well, I found out it was violence and not accidental." Like you're adding that not in there because if you're just saying something for the first time, you say, well, she actually died of something violent. And then sometimes you will actually say, no, it's accidental. So it's not always the case. But pretty much this has already been put out by Dani De La Rosa Naya in a news article that as well from Mexico. And this was already put out. But for some reason, most people like have not went on that. I took it off discussions. Hey, gotta take 5. Cabo 5 put Shanquella's body in the bathroom for the maid to find, and everyone would think her injuries came from a fall and drinking too much. Exactly. This is it, Linda. That's exactly what happened. And now adding that back in there means that now, again, remember I said I'm going through the timeline. Okay, now Nazir arrives, and then he sees her bust eye. And then he said it wasn't like, he said it's like a sty. If you actually look up a picture, let me see if I can get a picture of a sty. A sty. I don't know exactly how it will look for him, I guess. And it also needs to be on somebody that's African American. I don't know if he actually means this injury or not, or something like this. I will have to actually verify, but I know in the video he did say sty. And I don't really think the way it's described, I don't really think it's going to be this big. No, he described it as something else, but this is a sty. Maybe he don't, because he said he really don't know like the full name, I guess. But I would say, because I think he described it as a small sty. Let me see if I can see a picture. No, I can't find one right now. Okay. Okay, let me go to comments. Hold on a second. It's a nightmare for our parents, and they nor any parent whose child has been murdered deserves this. Their hearts are being shredded over and over. I'm so glad her mom is persistent in seeking justice. Exactly. Her sister and mother, they're definitely persistent. And the father is also seeking justice as well. He has done a lot of things to try to keep her name alive. Okay, this is the article right here. Do the right thing. Hey, hey, hey. Torres says they know her injuries did not come from a fall. They were too extensive to have been caused by a fall. There's ample amount of evidence to show that she sustained multiple blows, which caused her death. Yes. And remember, when the doctor arrived, she said, "Why does she have a knot on her head?" And she was told that she fell in the bathroom. And remember, everybody was told this. And remember, how would Daniel, how would he know about that it was supposed to be a fall? Okay, so he stated that himself. And what did he say? He says experts in criminal investigation agents. He says experts and criminal investigation agents test data was obtained that make up the investigation photo and indicate that it was an attack direct. So a direct attack, not from an accident. I emphasize. So he was actually clarifying and clearing up the confusion because he said that the group of friends lied. Okay. So this is not something that's coming from Nazir. This is something coming from that already came from Daniel De La Rosa Naya, that he stated that the friend said that it was an accidental fall. Okay. So yeah, it's coming from different people. So let's go here. Hold on. Yes, yes. I'm going here. Okay. Okay, Amanda Shanquella was deceased when she was put in that bathroom. I don't think she was deceased at that time period. I mean, some people still believe that she was deceased. Some people don't. It's kind of like, I don't know. We should actually do a poll. You know what? I actually should do a poll. Let me put up a poll. I believe that she was unresponsive due to her condition of atlas luxation, which I've already explained the symptoms. Because one thing I can say for 100% certain is this. Well, I wouldn't say 100% certain because there's always exceptions to the rule. I would say this, that at any time when you're diagnosed with something, you're usually going to have the symptoms of that. Because that's the reason you get diagnosed, is because you're exhibiting those symptoms, or you've been tested for that, or you've been examined for that, and that's why they diagnose you with that. So on her death certificate, her diagnosed cause of death, like what they determined was her cause of death, was atlas luxation. All right. And then don't forget, on the autopsy, it states that she sustained the injury she sustained to her, like the brutal beatings. to her body was actually sustained 12 hours before she passed away. So basically, the injuries she had were not like recent injuries, like bruised, like the beatings that she and the bruises she obtained from the beating were not recent. They were at least 12 hours before. So based on that, and also her condition of atlas luxation, and what do people have? Like I said before, when you have atlas luxation, you experience like you can be unresponsive with that condition. You can't move, and you can hear, you can see and understand, but you cannot move. So your body, it will be like it wouldn't be moving. So anyone trying, you won't be able to raise your arm or hand at anyone. So anyone trying to move you or do anything will see that you're kind of like lifeless because you're not able to move. You're paralyzed. Yeah. You're paralyzed from the neck down. I mean, yeah, neck down. Because they said she has severe atlas luxation, right? Okay, so I'm going to put a poll on the video and see who all believes now that she was unresponsive and who all believe that she was deceased. I wouldn't say she's catatonic, gotta take 5. She was actually her eyes were pretty much darting around and moving around because she could still see. And then she was also trying to get words out. Like she was trying to speak, but words wouldn't come out. And the doctor and Nazir kind of mentioned her verbal kind of lack of verbal skills or verbal communication, should I say. So I'm going to put up a poll in just a second. Hold on. We can see where everybody's at. And like I said, once someone has been diagnosed with something, they have to have the symptoms of that. Now, the severity of it and the level or degree of it is one thing, but usually you have some of the symptoms of that condition. And can someone explain, if you believe that she was deceased, how can you explain on the autopsy it said that she sustained injuries to her body 12 hours before she passed away? So that means that she had to have some beatings or something happening 12 hours before she passed away. We can pull up the autopsy. This one first. Yeah, we go over the autopsy. Said she had injuries 12 hours before. So, like I said, I would love for someone to explain that. But yeah. Now, the autopsy also said, I mean, the doctor also stated like she lost pulse at like 3:30 p.m. But she still, at that point, she tried to revive her. So once she lost that pulse, around I can't remember the exact time she lost pulse. I have to go over it again. But when she couldn't no longer feel a pulse, she did spend like another hour trying to revive her, and that didn't work. Okay, the poll is up now. Okay, the Mexican government has been gaslighting from the beginning. They claim the maid found her in the bathroom, but it was reported earlier that her body was either on the bed or on the floor by her bed. Well, I think you're getting some things confused because some things actually some of that came from some of that came from Gerardo Zuniga. He said that Shanquella was found right where she was last seen in that video. He said that, and then he took it back, right? Because I knew something was off when he said that, and the reason I say that is because There's no cameras in the bathroom. There's no cameras in a bedroom. In any bedroom, you have an expectation of privacy no matter where you travel to. So there's no way that they can have cameras in there. So when he said that someone came in the room and intervened and all this, the only way that could actually be videotaped is if one of the guests did it, like one of the Cabo 5 did it. There's no cameras in the bedroom. And for anyone saying deceased, I'm going to drop a link. You need to explain how she sustained a lot of her injuries due to her being beat on like 12 hours before she passed away. You have to add that in there. You can't overlook an autopsy. Autopsy goes over the body. They put her on the autopsy table. They examine her body externally and internally. They do toxicology. So no one can ignore an autopsy result. And she had injuries on her body from being beaten 12 hours before she passed away. They were not like it was not fresh wounds on her body. Some of them had been on there for 12 hours. So someone has to add that in there. I never said anything about a fall. He never said anything about a fall in his live. That's the key to the injuries. In his live, he did not mention a fall. He was all over the place. However, November 23rd, a news article from Mexico, they got information from Dani de la Rosa Naya a day before the press release, right? A day before the press release. So the newspaper is actually one that reported it, not Nazir. The newspaper reported that, and then Daniel de la Rosa Naya pointed it out. Okay, so that information actually came first on here from Daniel de la Rosa Naya because he gave that information to a news article or a news media agency, right? However, Nazir is confirming that is true. And remember, he was there when the doctor asked, why does she have a knot on her head? Like, why does Shanquella have a knot on her head? He was there. And the doctor was told to fall. She was told to fall. That's how she got it. So that actually aligns with Daniel de la Rosa's Anaya's statement. So remember, we're not just taking Nazir's statement, what he's saying now. We're taking what Daniel de la Rosa Anaya, the state attorney, said in his press release, and also what he said to a news article, media agency. Yeah, I'm tired, so I'm gonna be not 100%. Okay, so we actually have to know, where did we hear this first from? We heard this first from the news article that posted it from Mexico, and they said it came from Dani de la Rosa Naya. And then the following day after that news article, we see that Dani de la Rosa Naya mentions the same thing in his press conference, official press conference. So this came from him. You would think he would mention that in his live when people was attacking him and when he started talking about the busted lips and blood vessels in her eye. I would think he would mention a lot of things, but to be honest, he has not posted a lot of things. He didn't even post the videos. He didn't post a lot of things or say a lot of things. Now, to be honest, he should have mentioned it, but he's all over the place. And to be honest, a lot of things he hasn't talked about. There's a lot of things that he probably can answer that he hasn't talked about. And I think that, to be honest, if I can actually be 100% honest, when he first came out and wanted to speak, GJ should have handled it better. As a blogger, as a reporter, as like investigator looking into things, he should have handled it better. If he had handled it better, then Nazir would not have closed up. Because this is what I have learned. I'm telling you, people have to pay attention to this. People are not going to open up about things or tell you more things if you're putting them on like the defense or whatever, right? You're making our offense, child, we playing football like that. But anyway, you're making them like defend themselves. You're not really coming at them. Your job is to get answers and to get them to open up and tell you more things. You're not supposed to like attack them at the same time, that's going to make people shut down. So I think it would have been, if he had handled it differently from the beginning, then we would have more answers, and we would have somebody answering a lot of questions, or being, you know, it was not handled properly. Trust me, you can't come at people like that. Number one, the boarding passes that GJ posted from Nazir, it was like cut off, and he immediately went to analyzing the tickets in the wrong way. When he first got the tickets, he should have said, "Hey, do you have the full ticket? So with some kind of information on it, like, hold on 1 second." He should have said, do you have the full boarding pass for some kind of ticket number, record number, or something I would be able to call in to verify? And then he would have been like, "Oh yeah, let me get that for you." And then he would have had the record locator information. And then he would have been able to call immediately to American Airlines and verify that, like I did, right? Months later. So again, that could have been handled differently. And then that would have been handled. And then that would have put a stop to it immediately about him being there or not being there, because it would have been 100% verified through calling American Airlines and giving them the official record indicator information from the boarding pass that from Nazir. There are other things that were not handled correctly as well. It's your job when people give you something to look into it and not immediately go on to attack the person before you verify the information. So yeah, people want people to talk, but then they don't really handle it right. When you're wanting someone to talk, you have to make sure you don't go on the attack. You actually put out the information, you verify it, and then like that. Okay. Hey, avoidable all. Hey, Rod. The doctor either failed to do a review of systems or ignored them, so I don't excuse her. She's a doctor and she had at minimum 10 years of training. No, the doctor still, that's why I said we need to keep everybody separate as individuals. The doctor is still supposed to do her own assessment of everything. Okay. So when she saw the knot on Shanquella's head, she said, "Where did this come from?" They said a fall. Right? She's still supposed to immediately, like, hey, assume that, hey, maybe it's not a fall, maybe it's something else. I don't know. But now that we know that she was told this, it adds in more of an element that we have to consider, and that is that adds in that now we can't say like, oh well, she had to be suspicious of this or that because she had a knot on her head. That's not coming from alcohol poisoning. But if she was also told that she fell in the bathroom or had an accidental fall and drunk too much, so then that adds on something else that we have to take into account pretty much. Yeah. And I'm sure, like, even when they told her about the fall, she was still skeptical of it. And at that point, it's up to her to make an accusation to where and say, no, this cannot just come from that. This is how I would know, and she should know as a medical professional. If someone fell, it's typically not going to be, what can I say? If that person falls, I need to know. I guess I need to see exactly where the knot on the head was located. I think they said the front, so I have to look. If someone fell, like to a certain angle, they would have to fall flat on their face. Like their face would have to be like face down, like face forward, right? They would have to fall and hit their face. So to me, that would not really align with that. Now, the knot on the head might align to something, but not the eye and the lip as well, unless someone like it was like their whole face was like the full face was went down to like on the tile floor or whatever. So as a doctor, she should know that really wouldn't make sense because it's too many injuries in different places that wouldn't align with the fall unless someone fell straight on their face, right? Now that will actually align with somebody being hit in the face, right? But yeah, so either way it goes, to account for, and then remember, Shanquella is, some would say dark skin, some would say yeah, dark skin. So, well, in some pictures she looks like kind of brown skin and others dark skin, right? So basically, we have to take into that account that as well, and how that will look with a black eye, a newly black eye, or something like that. So basically, yeah, we have to get everyone's opinion on this. But when you add in that she failed, that actually makes the Cabo Fives make their whole cover up like better, because now they're saying that she not only drank too much but had a fall. And think about it. Why would you just say? Why would you just say she drank too much when you already know people will question like her? Why would she have? Why did she have a busted eye, busted lip? Why did she have this? They already knew that people will have questions about that, so of course they will have to say, "Oh, she fell too." That makes more sense. Like I would say that if I was trying to cover up, I wouldn't just say somebody drunk too much. I would also say they fell, because I know that, hey, they got injuries. And think about it, even with DV, intimate partner violence, they always they will punch on the victim or beat on the victim, and then they will say that the person fell, or the person will lie and say, "Oh, I fell." Right? That's like a typical thing when someone is beat, and then people use the excuse that they fell. That's typical. So as someone in any health profession or professional, you already would know, especially with intimate partner violence, that when someone says, you see someone with a beaten face and people say they fell, that should already raise suspicions, right? But at the same time, not always, because that can still, like, someone can say, some people might believe it, especially if someone, they say someone drunk too much too. Then they lie about the maid didn't find her. There is a maid that gave a statement, but we don't know what the maid said. And I'm pretty sure, to be honest, based on Lucy, I'm sure they had Lucy the maid, because no one has argued with me about it not being Lucy. I'm thinking that Lucy did find her, and I think they set it up for Lucy to find her. I do. I think that I believe that they set it up for Lucy to find her in the bathroom, and that she had a fall. And I believe that since Shanquella was naked, this is what I believe. I think that she was naked, of course, when she was being brutally beaten, right? And I don't think they put clothes on her until after the maid came. Right? I believe that they took her naked body in the bathroom and then set it up so that way she fell in the bathroom. Because think about it, she's already naked, so why not put her in the bathroom like she was like about to take a shower in the bathroom, or just came out of the shower doing something. So I wouldn't be surprised they actually like made it seem like she just came out the shower and she fell. Then somebody mentioned about, who mentioned something about bathing or something. I need to pull up. I need to actually listen to like a press conference or something. I heard that from somewhere. But anyway, I need to go pull up a press conference from Sue Ann Robinson or something I heard. But yeah, I believe that they set her up in that bathroom for the maid to find her, because the maid comes Monday through Saturday. Hey Deborah, I have dropped the link. Hello Danny girl, you own it, awesome job, Justice for Shanquella. Okay, hey, and say MLW Fisherman, hey, Truth Teller Danny, hey. Okay, so I dropped the link again. Anybody wants to come up and see, Mexico authorities know DJ deleted Shanquella, but now they are trying to cover up the corrupt acts of the doctor, paramedics, and police officer. I definitely believe that there are people are wanting to protect themselves from a lawsuit. I definitely believe that. Definitely. Different people want to protect themselves from a lawsuit, and different people want to protect themselves from like their image, protect Mexico's image as like a tourist destination, protect American Medical Center, protect themselves getting sued for Carolina or negligence, and Cabo Villas because of the concierge in May. They want to protect themselves. So everybody is really trying to protect themselves at this point, or their image. And but I do believe that Mexico realized they dropped the ball on this, and that they now want to have Dejanay extradited. And if she is extradited, that they will obviously want to send her to a Mexican jail. However, now that she has fled the country, they have hurdles or obstacles in their way, because now the Department of Justice and FBI won't release Dejanay until they finish their own investigation. And that's what happens when you don't do your job and someone flees your country. Now you have to wait for extradition. So they messed up on that. They did drop the ball. Mexico did drop the ball. They're trying to pick up the ball that they fumbled, but it's kind of too late. It's now up to the DOJ and FBI what happens. Let me go down. I see a super sticker. I want to address that because I want to make sure the person doesn't leave before I address it. Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Okay. I think it says Ariane Smith, 2003. Do we know if the family had their own autopsy done when they received Shanquella's body back from Mexico? There was not another autopsy done. There were talks about getting one, but another autopsy was not carried out. Remember, her body, when I think they got her body back on like a few days before the funeral, right? So when would they actually have time to have had another autopsy? Now there are times where people have to. I can't even talk. There are times when people's body has been exhumed or from the grave, and then they have a new autopsy done. But no autopsy was actually done. It was talks of it. Like we should do a second autopsy, or another one will get done, but none was ever done. The only autopsy is the one that Sue Ann Robinson released from Mexico. And shout out to Ariane Smith. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. Okay, so let me see. Hold on. So Shell said exactly, Gerald blew up. We could have found out more information. Yeah, and you know what? I get it to where you feel like all the Cabo 6 are involved in especially like at the onset and beginning of this investigation. Everybody was saying like Cabo 6, Cabo 6, Cabo 6, and we wanted answers, and we didn't like any of them. And of course, that's how it is. Okay, we are all justice for Shanquella, and we want justice for her. We are Team Shanquella, right? However, at the same time, if you actually want to interview anybody in this whole thing on any of the Cabo 6, any of their family or anybody involved, concierge, a doctor, or anybody, you have to make sure that you don't turn them off or shut them down, because how are you going to get answers when you're being like attacking? So you kind of have to put on your reporter hat or your investigative journalist hat and say, I'm just here to get answers, and I'm not going to like have this person shut down. That's like with any interview. If you interview someone and you start going too far with your questions, then they might shut down the interview. Like, hey, now you're, I don't like how you're coming at me, right? So yeah, it could definitely have. Now, I'm not saying that he is completely like on all his things. I'm saying in that case, he did not handle it properly, and then that led to shutdown. Oh, okay. Hey, Out of Storm, they had those many hours to dress and move and make a plan, so DJ did not go to jail that day. Exactly. They definitely knew that she was going to jail, because if they had called the concierge and they had told the concierge that, hey, Desiree Jackson, one of her friends or fake friends, has just attacked Shanquella, then the concierge would have called the police. And remember, in the statement, the concierge says that he felt manipulated by the main guest, Desiree Jackson. Because if the concierge knew that she had attacked Shanquella, he would have called the police. And then the police would have came and arrested Desjanae for a violence charge, right? And then Shanquella would have been taken to emergency help, and then most likely she would have survived, but we don't know her. She probably would have been in a vegetative state or paralyzed. We don't know. Some miracles do happen with Atlas luxation. However, since she lied, the concierge felt manipulated about the whole thing. His live, he said he was told the maid found her slumped over the toilet due to alcohol poison. Yeah. Exactly. That's what he said. And to me, to be honest, his live was all over the place, and he was not. I think that he did that live like he was supposed to go live with GJ about it, but then that didn't work. So he tried to do his own live, and then he was all over the place. It was disorganized. It was all over the place. He was jumping from one thing to the next, and very, very not organized. So I think that in that way, things were left out. But yeah, so let's look at the poll. But like I said, no one has really explained the autopsy. When anybody is saying deceased has not explained the autopsy results. They have not explained how she sustained injuries 12 hours before she passed away. So there had to be a time gap or a time difference in between the injuries and her death. So that means that when she was injured, that she had to live for a certain amount of time before she passed away. Yeah, that's the only thing that really makes sense. And that my line of thinking actually goes along with the Charlotte Observer and others that have examined the autopsy. The autopsy now, it contradicts previous findings. It contradicts it, because I already said a long time ago that the time of death, that 15 minutes was just an estimate. We needed a full autopsy. That was a death certificate, and it was translated by someone we don't know. But we needed the official autopsy. Now we have the official autopsy. And the official autopsy says that she was actually unresponsive for a great deal of time. I mean, that she sustained injuries to her body a great deal of time before she passed away. And I can actually pull up the autopsy again, but I can show you. So I really, that's why I said someone on the other side of things needs to actually look at the autopsy and explain the autopsy according to their analysis of her being unresponsive. Now, at one point, she was unresponsive, and the doctor no longer felt a pulse. And instead of pronouncing her dead, she continued. That's when she started rounds of CPR. Okay. But she definitely she did not just say, oh yeah, we need to call emergency help, and then over for someone that was already deceased. Okay. At that time, when she actually texted concierge and said that she needed emergency help, Shanquella was still alive at that point. And that's when she said the travel mates were trying to arrange about insurance or talk about insurance. So yeah. And a lot of people are still talking about the maid and what the maid said, but no one has had the maid's statement, like her official statement. So no one can say, oh, the maid said she felt cold, or the maid said this, and the maid said she felt this, because we don't have the maid's official statement. Until we get the maid's official statement, that actually came from Gerardo Zuniga. It didn't come from any unofficial police report or anything else. That came from Gerardo Zuniga. Dani, the 12-hour would mean she was beaten at 5:49 a.m. That means it would have been dark in the room. I believe that it started. What we saw was, to me, was not the first starting of her being beat. Yep, I believe that she was already starting to be beat way before, like early morning, and what we saw was just a continuation of it. And to be honest, the timing is not always going to be exact science. That's why they actually put, I think, between that she passed away between 17 and 20 hours of the autopsy, because they already know you can't say like exact. You can try to give like an estimated time. You're not going to be able to be it is 100% exact. Then it could be mean her body was going through the last stages. Yeah, I could have put transitioning as an option as well. So yeah, unresponsive to me makes more sense because Nazir getting there, she's unresponsive. And then a doctor getting there, she's unresponsive, but still has vital signs, which falls in line with allosuction. And then from there, the doctor is assessing her and evaluating her, and then she sends another text to the concierge and says they're now trying to figure out how they're going to get like health insurance or the insurance aspect of it, try to get her emergency help. At that point, she's still unresponsive, and then finally she loses her pulse, and then that's when the doctor tries to revive her with all these rounds of CPR and everything else. So let's see. I'm not saying that she died I said that she died. I said she died between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. I never said that she died at any other time. I think that we some people are going off of the autopsy. Y'all are going away from the autopsy. We need to look at the autopsy again because some of y'all are just going sidetracking from the autopsy times. Regina says, Dani, I am new, but do you remember her mom said she got a call saying they were over there fighting her, something of the sort? Hey, Regina. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. To be honest, Nazir's video is all over the place. His video is all over the place. You have to watch that video a bunch of times just to get everything he says. It's like it's all over the place. And that's why if it were like a better interview done on him, like with him, the interview would have went a lot better with organized questions, and it would have kept his thoughts organized, right? Instead, he would just went live and he was just rambling and talking like he was all over the place. He didn't have anything like noted what he would say or what he would go over from like everything. So it wasn't really organized. Okay, let me see here. Sir says, just my opinion, Nazir is receiving more heat than the murderer and her accomplices. Is wild to me. Okay, so let's go over this. We need to go over the autopsy again because I think that some people are not really looking at the autopsy, or maybe some people have this like they are not believing in the autopsy. The thing is, in autopsy, we have Renee. Renee is a doctor that did the autopsy. He has been a surgeon for 20 years. He's a surgeon for 20 years. So we cannot discredit someone or take away their credentials. If you actually, I actually showed you his credentials. He's actually been a licensed medical professional, a surgeon at that, a surgeon since 1980. So we have a surgeon that's been since 1980 examining her body. He has had plenty of patients with outlet fluxation with this condition. He has done surgery and a lot of autopsies on a lot of people in his years since 1980. This is not someone that's fresh out like Dr. Carolina Ornelas, okay, that examined her body. So this person had in the United States, they would be overly qualified to do autopsies and be a coroner. Okay, so we're not dealing with an inexperienced person here. If you look at his credentials, 1980. So he examined Shanquella's body along with others. But he's the main one. He's the head person. Okay, but it's not his first rodeo. And we can look at the autopsy again. But I'm probably not going to keep on looking at the autopsy because it's pretty much Alive already covered the autopsy part. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's Alive, but I went over the autopsy times and dates. Where is it? Okay, hold on. Like right here it says she had the direct contusion in the frontal region and the median part, 8 by 4 centimeters with the with hematoma. It says direct contusion in the left iliac crest with hematoma, 7 by 3 centimeters. The injury happened more than 12 hours before death. And it says contusion in the right iliac crest with a hematoma 4 by 8 centimeters. The injury happened more than 12 hours before death. So she had injuries to her body more than 12 hours before she passed away. So she was already being attacked 12 hours before she died. So that means that she survived after being attacked. She survived before she died. There's no denying that. And then the autopsy also goes on to state her time of death. And that is on, and I think, do I have the picture of like the iliac crest? Do I have a picture? Let me see here. The iliac crest is right there where you see my mouse. I don't know if you see my mouse pointing towards it. But that's the iliac crest area. Not right there. Hold on. Let me see a better picture. Right. Okay. Now if you see where the yellow is at, that's iliac crest. Right there on the side, on both sides. There's a right iliac crest, and it's going to be the left iliac crest. Okay. Okay. So now let's go to the other part of the autopsy. Wait 1 second. Hold on. This is the page right here. It says right here, time of death between 17 to 20 hours before the autopsy was performed. So 17 to 20 hours before the autopsy was performed was her time of death. And the autopsy was performed. We have to go at the top of the autopsy page. and see the time when it was performed, then you would go 17 to 20 hours before then, okay? Hold on. And I think they said 9 a.m. in the morning is when they started the autopsy. Hold on. Renee Adalberto Galvin Osagura is the forensic doctor of Baja California Sur District Attorney's Office that examined the body of Shanquella Robinson. He has been a surgeon since 1980. He has expertise as being a surgeon, so he is has expert knowledge to examine a body and perform surgeries on a body. Okay. And then it says, let's go down. Hold on. The cadaver was received packaged in a white plastic bag, duly labeled and preserved with a chain of custody registry between at 20-30 hours to the autopsy table at the Medical Forensic Service on October 29th of this year. Do not go by this time of 20-30 hours because that says that's when it was received on October 29th at that time. That's not when the autopsy was performed. So please do not go by that time. It says later at 9 hours, 9 a.m. So it was received the night before, I think around like 8:30 p.m. the night before. The autopsy was not performed at 8:30 p.m. on October 29th. It was received on that date. It says later. So that night it was received. They're not going to probably do the autopsy because it's at night. But the morning when he came into work, at 9 a.m. on October 30th, 2022, we gathered at the autopsy table at the Medical Forensic Service to examine, identify, and perform an autopsy on the cadaver of whom was called in life Robinson Shanquella Bernarda. So Shanquella Bernarda Robinson. So we have to remember it started at 9 a.m. and they said, according to this autopsy, that she died 17 to 20 hours before the at the time of the autopsy, like it was performed. So if we would take 9 hours, we would go back 17 to 20 hours, right? And that will put us at 1 to 4 p.m. So she died between 1 to 4 p.m. on October 29th. So between 1 to 4 p.m. is when she died, according to the time of death on the autopsy. And how do we know the time of death? Because it says right here, the cause, it says, we can say based on the aforesaid and the findings that the cause of death of human life was called Shanquella Bernarda Robinson was outlets and medullary dislocation. 2, type or manner of death, violent. 3, pre-existing pathology unknown. Time of death between 17 to 20 hours when the autopsy was performed. So that would be 1 to 4 p.m. on October 29th. And the doctor arrived at around 3:15 p.m. Nazia arrived at 2:17 p.m. So she died shortly after the doctor arrived. So she most likely died between that time and the doctor arrived. She passed away. It says signs of survival. Yes, the cadaver shows signs of torture. No. And it says determination if the injuries that are sustained were post-mortem. No. So the injury she said she obtained was not after she died. It was before she died. It says no. We found defibrillator injuries consistent with resuscitation efforts. This injury is in the xiphoid appendix, and the xiphoid appendix is, let's see, hold on. It's like in her torso area. It's like her torso area, and that's from the CPR. It says no. We find defibrillator injuries consistent with resuscitation efforts. This injury is in the xiphoid appendix. And it says end of autopsy 11 hours. So it took them 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. to do the autopsy. So Shanquella Robinson died between 1 and 4 p.m. on October 29th. And she and don't forget, that means that, to be honest, that means that the beating of her, like beating on her, most likely started early that morning and continued early that morning, but she didn't pass away until 12 hours after the injuries. She got those injuries. Okay. And remember, the atlas luxation injury, we don't know exactly when that occurred. It could have been that some of these injuries already occurred early in the morning, and then the atlas luxation, what ended her, like the cause of death was actually occurring later on, closer to maybe before the maid came. Yeah, so that's the autopsy report. Okay, so wait 1 second. Wow, nobody wants to join the panel today, and I'm tired too. Let me look at my messages to see if anything I can post or not. Hold on. So, anywho, now let's talk about this. Okay, so basically, let's go to the maid. To me, we cannot really examine the maid because everything that's been said about the maid is hearsay. It's hearsay because we have not got her official statement, like from her own mouth, of what she said about Shanquella's condition. So we cannot discuss that. Now we can discuss what people have said about her, but we cannot actually take it into 100% fact of that's exactly what happened because it's hearsay. Now we can discuss that if Nazir was told that she also fell and that the maid found her because she fell in the bathroom and she drank too much, that also kind of takes into account, like, hey, now he not only was told that she drank too much, but he also was told that she fell in the bathroom, that the maid found her. Okay. So in that case, that can explain why he overlooked her injuries, like some of the injuries to her face, because they added in that she fell. And also, as far as the doctor, she was told that she fell as well, accident to fall. And then also, of course, with that would be the police, and it got back to Daniel De La Rosa Naya, and that's why he made a statement, and he made multiple statements about it, right? So let's go. Some people are just getting here, but basically, this article right here that I went over, this article is actually a Mexico media agency, and it says, let's see, this was November 23rd, 2022. And it says the state attorney general, Dani De La Rosa Naya, confirmed that an arrest warrant was issued against the alleged feminicide of Shanquella Robinson, and that the preparation of the red file will be requested for Interpol to begin its location, arrest, and extradition. The state officials shared that the case has already been clarified, and a friend of the victim was identified as the direct aggressor in events that occurred on October 29th in the municipality of Los Cabos. He specified that the confidentiality and discretion with which the investigation was handled was very important, since at first a group of friends, all from North Carolina, United States, made it look like an accidental death due to due to a fall into the bathroom because she was drunk. They reported a medical emergency and left the country. So they did not say, oh, I specified. They are quoting Daniel De La Rosa Naya. They said that he specified, as in Daniel De La Rosa Naya, that the confidentiality and discretion with which the investigation was handled was very important, since at first the group of friends, all from North Carolina, United States, made it look like an accidental death due to a fall in the bathroom because she was drunk. They reported a medical emergency and left the country. However, the autopsy revealed the cause of death to be a spinal cord fracture at the back of the neck. And then the following day, after this news article was released, the following day, Daniel De La Rosa Naya in his office issued this press release statement that everybody knows about the arrest warrant of Desjanae Jackson. And in this press release, he reiterated and emphasized that this was a violent attack and not accidental. So he was actually pushing this out there. Hey, we have looked into this further, and it's not accidental. I emphasize it's not accidental. This is violent. It's a direct aggression. So he is the one, Daniel De La Rosa Naya, that have put this out there, that the friend said it was accidental due to a fall in the bathroom. And then he made a press release and emphasized that it was violent, not accidental. The concierge that he feels manipulated by Desjanae Jackson. And you know what? That one American Medical Center, they gave me the number to that. And they gave me the number, and I forwarded it to Sue Ann Robinson, but I never called the number. I have been tempted to. That number for the doctor they gave me. Let me see something here. So yeah, once he put that out there, Nazir is confirming that is true, that they did tell the doctor and him that it was also not just that she drank too much, but that it was a fall. So we definitely have to add that back to the discussion, because now we have Daniel De La Rosa put this out there, and it has been, Nazir said it's true. Before I stopped talking about it because I didn't have like another confirmation of it, right? But now he's saying, yeah, that is true. That's what was told. And I said, what happened when they said the doctor questioned the knot on Shanquella's head? And he said, yeah, that's because they said it was the fall. So they told the doctor that. Okay, so wait 1 second. I'm trying to go to my email so I can find that number. She could have disconnected the number by now. She could have disconnected it. Let me see. Okay, it's not that one. Okay, wait 1 second. I don't know why I'm so sleepy, but I did kind of have a long day. Hold on. Don't feel too shy. You can always come on the panel to say what you have to say as well. You don't have to. Well, I forgot I'm supposed to be dropping a link a different way. if you're not like a regular or whatever else, I can tell I'm not gonna. Last night people were acting weird, so I have to be careful who I let on the panel. The father said he ordered it in an interview because his daughter did not drink to the point of alcohol poisoning. If this is reflecting otherwise, I can't say why. I recall him saying that. He was, the only thing he discussed before was how Elizabeth, he was speaking to Elizabeth about getting Shanquella's body taken back to the United States or transported to the United States, and how he was requesting like the autopsy because he knew she didn't die of alcohol poisoning, but he's talking about the autopsy that was already being conducted. However, there were talks of a second autopsy getting done, but none was ever done. So we have to remember sometimes people have talks about maybe I should get a new one or I should get one, but they did not get one. Okay, so they only have, this is the only autopsy that has been done on Shanquella is the one from Mexico. There's no other one. I've already questioned this and received an answer. This is only one. I feel like Shanquella knew she was in trouble. She was up against the wall. As soon as she got to the villa, Khalil lured her in, and then it was all hell from there. Yeah, some people believe it was premeditated and some don't. I don't believe it was premeditated. I think that things happened on the trip to make Dejanay want to fight Shanquella. Shanquella didn't want to fight, but Dejanay did. So in those cases, you already know that sometimes somebody wants to fight and you don't want to fight, but then that person still will fight you or come after you, right? And Shanquella made it clear she was not going to hit back, but Dejanay continued her brutal attack. So I don't think it was premeditated, but I do believe that. Now I do believe there was pre-existing jealousy before the trip. Like I believe that she was already jealous of Shanquella before going on the trip, but I don't believe that they actually planned to go to Cabo and attack Shanquella. And the reason I say that is they had a lot of things planned, and ATV and a bunch of other things they were planning on doing in Cabo. And I just think that things got heated and Dejanay wanted to fight Shanquella. And Shanquella is a type that jokes around, but it's all in jest and it's all just to play around. It's not to actually be taken seriously. But Dejanay clearly was sensitive to probably all the things that she was saying and wanted to fight. That's no excuse to brutally attack someone just because they're joking around with you and you are sensitive about it. If a person passes away in any place other than a hospital, an autopsy is automatically done. The father did not have to pay for the autopsy. It was already done, and remember, it was already done. It was already done before he even found Shanquella, where Shanquella was at. Remember, he found her on that Monday, and her autopsy was done on Sunday morning or whatever. Yeah, right here. The autopsy was done on Sunday, 10:30. The father did not find her body until So yeah. And this is already something I verified already. I'm not just talking. I already verified this information. That he did not pay for the autopsy for the one in Mexico. He did not pay for another one. It's just this one. I've already confirmed it. Okay, 172 likes. Thanks for supporting Dani in this live stream. Yes, thanks y'all for supporting me. I know I'm tired, I'm sluggish, but I'm pushing through. Let me see if I can post any other things to y'all. Let me see. Hey, Gwen. Oh yeah. Good night. Good night. Good night. Hold on 1 second. Oh yeah, so I found this number. I'm gonna actually try to call it, but it's kind of late, but I don't care. I'm just gonna see what happens when I call it. What the heck? Okay, that their time is like 1 hour or so. like 2 hours behind or 1 hour behind. Okay, so that's the number 5-2. Let's move forward. Okay. Ciao. What happened?
Bueno.
Yes, I was calling to speak to Carolina. It hung up. So to be honest, I put this number was already put out the other like a couple of weeks ago or a week. I can't remember when. But yeah, they hung up. So I'm sure they probably already been getting calls. I should have called it already before now. But yeah, so let me actually put that in my other one. Hold on. I should have called it first. And who knows? There could have already I gave it to when did I give it to her? Oh wow, that's been a long time ago. So I was waiting for Sue Ann to use it or whatever. So anyways, it says I gave it to her on March 7th. Yes, I emailed it to her March 7th in the like afternoon. Yeah. So she's had it for a few weeks now. So it's not like I'm just now. Hold on 1 second. I hate when people hang up on me. Right now it's like 10 p.m. their time. It's like 10 p.m. their time. Hold on. Okay, Mexico. So select Mexico. Where is it? Right here. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. So I just sent a text message to see something. But yeah, so let's see here. Okay, let me go to my IG messages now and see something. So let me answer another question while I'm trying to do this. Okay, let's see. Hey, Tribal. Hey. This angers me. If any of us, I bet we will all love her. Yeah, it's frustrating. And I know that, to be honest, this was a violent crime and the autopsy is listed as violent. So that means somebody has to be held accountable for it because it's a violence charge. Now, when will they be held accountable? It will take a long time. But they will be held accountable because someone has to be. And like I said, he made 100% clear that it was violence and not accidental. And that's what the autopsy results show. It was not accidental. And they were told that it was a bathroom fall. So the Cabo file thought they got away with setting it up as staging it as a bathroom fall. But the truth is, the autopsy has revealed that it's violence. It was not a fall. And the main reason they can determine this too is because this. Her body, okay, besides, I'm not talking about the video. Remember, the autopsy was done before, this autopsy was done before that video surfaced. The autopsy was done on October 30th at 9 a.m. in the morning. That video was not released until like November 14 or 15, around that time frame, right? So this autopsy was already completed. So with that being said, they cannot go back and change anything on this at all. That is a violence charge. So everybody that lied and said it was a fall in the bathroom is a part now of omission and cover up. Yep. The autopsy has exposed that. And like, let me tell you why the autopsy has exposed it. On the autopsy, they actually show that she has injuries to that iliac crest. She has that like, I think that, let me go back. I need to go back to the autopsy. But anyways, the injury she sustained is all over her body in different places. That's not that does not align with the fall, because a fall will actually be in like one particular region. Like if I fell backwards, then most likely I might have a knot on the back of my head because it will align with me falling backwards. I might have some scratches on my back region or anything that's like on my I was not like a posterior or the region, posterior region or whatever. I would have injuries there. And it would be odd if I fell on my back and then they came and they found me and they saw that I had a busted eye, a busted lip, and they would say, well, we know the injuries on her back are consistent with the fall or her falling on her back, but on like asphalt or tile. But where does the busted eye lip come from? Because that's on the front of her body, right? That's in a different region of her body. So when that autopsy shows that she had like on like her sides, like by her like hip area, she had these injuries, and then she has injuries on her face too, like around the eye region, the knot on her head, the lip area, right? They see these. It's too many different regions of her body that are affected by this. That's why it comes across as violence, because hey, this is not consistent with the fall. When you fall, there's going to be a certain region of your body that's going to be affected, not like all over your body is not going to be affected. That's more consistent with violence. So even without the video, autopsy will tell you like all the different regions of the body that are affected by this person that are injured, and that's not going to be consistent with the fall at all. So that's why I said you got to look at the autopsy. It was done before the video surfaced. So they are exposed. They are exposed, and someone has to pay the price. And they want Dejanay to be extradited. Now, to be honest, it's probably going to fall under manslaughter. Now, people that believe it's premeditated, then they would probably say murder. But people that say it was like something it was like that she wanted to fight her, she didn't want to fight back. And then some people will say it's manslaughter, a manslaughter charge, because it lacks intent. to kill. It means like maybe intent to like beat someone up, but not intent to actually like kill them. Okay, let me read some comments. Oh my gosh, Dani, what would you have said if she came to that phone? I don't know, but I usually say I'll say something. Most likely, I was going to ask her about what we're talking about. I was going to ask her about what she told that it was a fall, that there was like accident of falling or whatever in the bathroom. I have other questions as well, but since I'm talking about that, most likely that will be my question for now. Okay, Demetrius says, wasn't Nazir with them during the laughing after she was deceased? He needs to be asked. And yeah, so the concierge did not actually clarify on whether or not he said he heard laughter in the room, but he did not name names. Okay, and remember, he just left out of the room and he said that Dejanay was cold and indifferent when he hugged her, and that there was a skinny girl that was very sad and like kind of distraught or in pain, whatever. And I'm thinking that's Elise because she's the skinniest one, right? So that shows people were in different moods. Everybody wasn't in the same mood. Okay. So when he left out of the room to give them space and hear laughter, will we say that Elise immediately went from like that in pain or that the sadness that he saw to laughing, or that maybe Dejanay, who was cold and indifferent, went from cold and indifferent to laughing, right? So we don't know. We don't know who in the room was laughing or not laughing. And also, he only said two people. Like he described two people and their appearances, like what they were doing, their mood, should I say? Now, it would have been great if he actually did everybody in the room, but he did not. Now, what we do know about Nazir is that he did help with CPR on Shanquella. So people saying that, oh, well, he didn't help with Shanquella when he got there. He actually went from, like he said, making her comfortable to when the doctor got there, assisting the doctor with least CPR. So that shows that he was helping. That actually will help his case to show that he helped when he was trying to help when he got there. Even the doctor got there, he continued to try to help. So that's actually will actually help his case with that he was trying to help, right? Like that's like a continuation. Like he helping when he got there, and then he helping when the doctor arrived. That's like a continuation. Now, again, what we have here is that when did Nazir find out about the video? He said the same time that everybody else saw the video, at the same time when everybody else saw the video. Okay, so let's see here. Yes, this is how you join my channel membership. And so I'm going to be on here for like 15 more minutes answering, like reading some comments. And then this live was pretty much to go over this. And then tomorrow I'm going to have I don't know about tomorrow. Let's see. Hold on, what's today? Okay. I don't know. It's probably going to be Saturday when I have open chat and panel to just discuss topics and not have a topic. Okay. So today I'm pretty much going over that we need to add this back into the discussion because it has been, this was actually put out by someone that is knowledgeable about the case, and that is Daniel De La Rosa Naya. He put this out that the Cabo, let's go back to it. Hold on. He put it out that the Cabo, the friends traveling, in this article that I'm post a link again to those that missed it. He put it out there that they stated that it was an accidental fall. And that she was drunk. She was drunk and she fell in the bathroom. So we have to add this in as their lie. They lied about her falling due to drinking too much. We have to add that in there because that's what is being said by Dani De La Rosa Naya, and it's also being said by Nazir. So that it's two people that are saying that now. Okay. I might need to actually watch the press conference from the family again. I can't remember who mentioned something about bathing Shanquella. I don't want to get misinformation mixed in with facts. I need to actually rewatch that conference. Yeah, I need to rewatch it because I don't want to get misinformation spread. Okay, well, let's see here. Anita says, how could you be so cruel to someone that has nothing but love for you? As you can see that she is a blessing from God to you. Shanquella was a beautiful person inside as well as outside. Exactly. Dejanay was definitely jealous of Shanquella, and I believe that she was already jealous of her before the trip. And then I believe that, remember when Dejanay was doing push-ups and then Shanquella made a comment on that, and when Shanquella was coming back into the room and for them to all go in the pool like skinny dipping or whatever, Dejanay was at this thing at that time, so she was already feeling some type of way about Shanquella. And I also don't believe that she was comfortable in her own skin because she was like, well, I got all these cute bathing suits, I don't know which one I want to wear or whatever. And she see that Shanquella was more comfortable in her body. I really just think that she was jealous, but I really think that she planned to go on a trip to murder her. But I do believe that she was jealous of her. And also she didn't like her comments about like you skipped leg there or something she said in that video. To me, Shanquella has a type of personality that's just like likes to have fun and just throws out little jokes, but it's not to be really taken seriously. There's a lot of times people might say you skip leg day, you skip this day or that day. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. I want to see all in cuffs as well, but at this point, take at least the Janae. Yeah. They definitely this act, to be honest, that's definitely showing that they all were part of this cover up of Shanquella by stating that it was an accidental fall, and they knew good and well it wasn't an accidental fall. And the autopsy has shown there's violence. The video has shown it was violence. So they covered this up. However, based on the timeline, Nazir was not there during that time, so that's why I'm not adding him as completely in there because he was not there during a brutal attack based on flight times. So since he was not there when she was brutally attacked, then he's not a part of that. Okay, I think I already answered that one. Let's see. The report sticks. It's above the physician's report, although she was present. What is this referring to? I think I'm out of order. Okay, she says, y'all, this case has been keeping me up at night because I know they all beat on her and I don't think they're going to get any jail time. What makes you think that all of them beat on her? Because there's only one arrest warrant for direct aggressor. So what makes you think is more than one person if there's only one arrest warrant out? And remember, Sue Ann Robinson has actually seen more documents than we have seen, right? And also the concierge knows more than the concierge says that he kept mentioning Dejanay and said Dejanay manipulated him. He kept the focus on Dejanay Daniel De La Rosa Naya has kept the focus on Dejanay, and even like when they came back to the United States, like she win, she has kept the focus. Her and Crump has kept the focus on Dejanay too. And they, when they gave their demands to the White House, they want Dejanay extradited. So the focus is heavily on Dejanay. Yep, it's heavily on Dejanay and what she has her part in this. Now, don't get me don't, okay. Some people are asking for. I don't know, since I'm not anybody that was over there. I have no idea a lot of the questions y'all are asking. And you better believe the pathologist will testify to every injury. Yep, exactly, exactly. The autopsy has pretty much spoke because that's like internal examination, external examination, her cause of death. They determine if it's violent or accidental based on all the reasons of the body affected, and it's determined it's not accidental, it's violent. So someone has to answer to it. Anybody that dies of a violent crime, there is going to be a homicide investigation of who killed the person, was it intentionally or unintentionally. Whether it was murder or manslaughter, someone has to be held accountable for it. So we're basically just waiting now to see. And we already know they have named the person as Dejanay Jackson. But the FBI and the Department of Justice has to be 100% sure of that, because there's two stories being spun. One is going to be, do y'all think that the Cabo, you think they actually changed their story? Do you actually believe that they pretty much try to change their story 100%? They're still winning. They're, even though they probably admit that because of the video that Dejanay attacked Shanquella, they're still going to keep with that whole thing about she fell. I'm pretty sure this is what was told, that once they came back in for questioning, probably Dejanay probably said, yeah, that she brutally attacked her or she fought her or whatever. She'll probably even say that they were both fighting each other so she can take away responsibility of herself. And then she will say, well, after that, Shanquella was fine and she was okay. And then later on, we found her in the bathroom or whatever. And then, like, the maid found her in the bathroom. She's going to make up something to cover her ass, but it will all come out. The truth will come to the light. Think about it. When you lie to cover up one thing, you have to lie. You have to keep lying to keep it covered up. And it's up to the FBI and the Department of Justice to figure it out and untangle it and have 100% proof of what they're saying to lock her up, right? Yes, hashtag just for Shanquella. Good night. Good night, Linda. Hey, Scott. Scott says, I am losing faith in the justice system. May God punish Cabo 6 for the Shanquella. Exactly. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna read a few more comments and then I'm gonna log off. Yeah, most people haven't put. A lot of people have not really been discussing Shanquella because there's not a lot of updates. The last update was actually recently. Well, actually, there were recent updates as far as those documents, that 18-page document as to when Robinson released. And some people stated that there's more pages, right? Now, to be honest, I think a lot of us would love to see more pages released, but that's all that was released so far. So y'all let me know, what do y'all think about tonight's topic of, we need to bring this back into the discussion, because Daniel De La Rosa Naya is the one that put it out that the Cabo also lied and said it was accidental fall. So that means that the doctor, Nazir, the police, and everybody was also told that it was accidental fall, as well as she drank too much and she fell. And to be honest, that's like the main thing people say when they beat someone down. They brutally beat someone in domestic violence relationships. Either the abuser say the person fell, or the person that was abused, the victim, will say they fell to try to cover up the beating. So that's not uncommon. So we have to keep in mind that it's not uncommon to say, to try to cover up a beating is to say that someone fell. And then also for to say someone drank too much and fell, that adds another extra element. Because they already knew that when the police arrived and the doctor and Nazir arrived, that they would be suspicious of her injuries to the face, her bruised face. They would be suspicious. So they had to account for that and say, oh, alcohol poisoning, she fell. So Nazir mentioned that Shanquella was found in the bathroom, right? And then this news article also mentioned she was found in the bathroom. Let me go back to that news article again. Oh, yes, right here. Hold on. Yeah, it says made it look like an accidental death due to a fall in the bathroom. So this is when that news said it November 23rd. So the news said bathroom, and also Nazir said bathroom for Shanquella. So it's two statements saying bathroom. So most likely it's true that probably the maid found her in the bathroom, and they made it look like an accidental death based on Daniel De La Rosa Naya. And the reason I go by Daniel De La Rosa Naya, what he says, is because he is the one that has access to all the statements and the files, and he had the autopsy, he had everything, so he knows what was said. I mean, he has the official police report, so he knows what was said by different people. So they did, the Cabo 5 made it look like an accidental death to a fall, and they staged her body. It's easy to stage somebody's body because they beat her up. They beat her when she was naked, right? So when someone is already naked, you can put them in the bathroom and pretend like they were taking a shower or they were doing something in the bathroom. That's why they were naked. And then you would set it up for the maid to find her, right? So you can have you can act surprised, like, oh my gosh, I didn't. She fell. So in that case, we need to know like what time the maid got there. And usually, if it's Lucy, she gets there around the afternoon's time, around the afternoonish time. I don't know. It's just a mess. Okay, so yeah, but I do believe that they staged the scene to make it look like as accidental as a cover up. Okay. Yes, I'm proud of April Ryan did ask the question. That's why I said that's the only reason that White House actually gave any statement at all, because it was like an on the spot question that April Ryan asked, right? Okay, let me look at the results of this poll. 1 second. Where is it? Okay, so we have deceased 45%, and then our responsive 39%. And then we have not sure 17%. So there are some people that's still in the middle. They're not really sure which way to go. And then there are some people 45% and 39%. To be honest, this actually has the unresponsive has increased over time, because at first it was like a lot of people just really dead set on deceased. So it's actually starting to soon. I believe it will equal out, equalize, yeah, and be equivalent. So we will see. We will see. All right, y'all. Good night, everybody. If no one else has any questions on this topic, then I will see y'all on open panel. And then at that time, I'll be able to let me see. Let me check one more thing before I get off. I don't want to end the live. Yeah, we will have open panel and open chat when I'm refreshed and I have plenty of sleep and rest. That way I'll be able to stay on here and have a panel, and then also be in the earlier in the day, so more people will be awake. Okay, hold on one second. So basically, yeah, I said the doctor asked about the knot on her head according to the unofficial police report. So did Summer respond to that? And yeah, he said it was told to her to fall. Okay, that she fell. So the doctor was told that as well. Um, wait 1 second, hold on. Yep. So he's pretty much saying the same thing, that the maid found her and that she fell and drunk too much alcohol. That's what they were told. Okay, I said you mentioned a sty in her eye and something about her lip. He said, yeah, she had a little red dot in her eye. The white part where that be showing up, no, up if you know what I'm talking about. Not sure what to name it. So when he said sty in her eye, he said something about a little red dot in her eye, the white part where that be showing up if you know what I'm talking about. Let me post this one. Hold on. So I don't know if somebody has any knowledge of what I think I know you're talking about, where you have like you have like a redness in your eye. Like I can't. Hold on. Hold on a second. So does anyone know what that means? But yeah, she had a little red dot in her eye, the white part where that be showing up if you know what I'm talking about. Not sure what to name it. Okay, so I'll come back tomorrow and I'll post some of these things. But right now I'm just listening. I need to go get some rest. I'll have to upload it. I'll have to watermark it and post it. So I don't have time for it right now. I'm too tired, to be honest, y'all. So I will see y'all. I will try to come back tomorrow or Saturday to go over some of these things in more detail and open the chat, open the panel up. Okay. So y'all have a great night and thanks for coming. Make sure you hit the like button your way out. And I definitely will be coming back this weekend, hopefully Saturday, if all goes well. I have to get up early, so I definitely have to go to bed. Okay, so Deandra says busted blood vessels. So I will post that, and then so people can leave their. Oh yeah, someone I did see that I think I did see that in the autopsy too. I think I seen something about scleric region or scleric region or scleric region of the autopsy. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look at that really quick before I get off. Since you brought it up, I think it says scleric region. Wait 1 second. Okay, it says the right eyeball has sclerotic internal hemorrhagic zone of 0.5 centimeters. Okay, let me zoom in. Hold on. Let me zoom in so I can even see better myself. Okay, it says the right eyeball has sclerotic internal hemorrhagic zone of 0.5 centimeters. Yeah, so that is probably what he's talking about. The right eyeball has sclerotic internal hemorrhagic zone. Let me see something here. Well, what would be the exact diagnosis of that? Hold on. Besides, okay, internal bleeding, damaged blood vessels in the eye. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So so it's pretty much not really saying like a black eye. It's kind of like someone has their actual eyeball blood vessels are damaged looking, right? So that will actually put it in a different perspective. It's not actually her having like a full on like black eye. Now, it takes a while sometimes for a black eye to be in full effect. And also you have to keep in mind that her skin complexion, right? And how that actually would present itself as a black eye. But he's saying like she had like a red. Let me go back to the message. Hold on, y'all. I'm sleepy. So yeah, I need to be like more refreshed. So I can put things together. Let's see. Yeah, she had a little red dot in her eye. The white part where that be showing up, if you know what I'm talking about. Not sure what to name it. So that's his statement. I'm gonna post it tomorrow. I have to put my watermark on it because people be tripping on here. Okay. But yeah, thanks for posting that, RS. And who else had posted it? Thank you to as well for reminding me. So yeah, Myrna says busted. Yeah, so y'all were right. That's what it's coming up as. Busted blood vessel in her eye. Yeah, so y'all got it. Oh, y'all be on it. Hey, I love y'all. Y'all be on it. Thanks, Maz, for sticking around and helping out. And I will see y'all later. We have a lot to discuss, right? A lot to discuss. All right, hit the somebody punching you in the eye. I had a fight before and it happened to me. Yeah. All right, y'all. Good night. And thanks for coming. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. And like I said, I will post this message later so y'all can actually see the message. It's not just coming from me. It actually came from Nazir discussing like the appearance, because in my mind, I picture like a busted eye, like a black eye and just completely busted. But now how he describes it will be it kind of matches his description, kind of matches what the autopsy says, right? Right. So yeah, I would actually need to like Google a picture of it, like so I can see like someone, so I can get it. I actually want to like picture her exactly how she would be presenting herself, at that time. So that's why I want to get a picture of that condition. Good night, y'all. Bye. And don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Yeah, 5 centimeters.